Hello guys, welcome back to my Python basic tutorial series day 4 class. It's me Ashwath Shetty taking you people to this session to understand the basic concepts of the Python. In my previous class we already discussed about the data types in the Python. Today I have come with a new concept called operators in Python. So guys, in the programs we need to use some operators to perform some operations to achieve some goals. So what is this operators does? An operator is used to perform specific mathematical or logical operations in the program. Python provides many operators such as arithmetic operators, assignment operators, logical operators, relational operators, and identity operators and membership operators. Guys, let us see one by one with some examples now. So we'll start with the arithmetic operators. We know that arithmetic operators are basically four operations we can do that. One is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So along with Python provides other three special operations such as floor division, modulus operation and exponential operations. So we'll start with first one. For example, num1 is equal to 4 and num2 is equal to 2. So I want to perform some operation on this. Start with the addition operation now. So in this expression num1 plus num2, in this expression num1 and num2 are the values. With these values we are going to call as operands, and this plus symbol is we are going to call as operators. Okay. So this expression add the two values present in the variable num1 and num2 and provides the output. So same way, num2 subtract num1, so minus 2. Okay, so num1 multiply num2, so 8, and num1 division num2, 2.0. so we can use string also for the operations. For example, string 1 is equal to hello, string 2 is equal to guys. Okay, now perform string 1 plus string 2. It adds both the string values and gives the result. Okay, now we have another special type of operators, that is modulus operators. So when you want to get the remainder as an output, we use the modulus, that is percentage. For example, num1 percentage num2, so 0. So reverse you do num2 percentage num1 2. So this is the remainder value it presents, it gives. So here what is we have, it quotient value it gives in the normal division. In the modulus division it gives the remainder value. Same way we have another one division, that is floor division. So floor division we are going to use double division sign, num1 and num2, so it gives the result. Here we have to observe, in the floor division it gives only integer part of the result, it excludes the decimal part. See here, num1 and num2 in normal division it provides 2.0 as a output including decimal part. Same thing, I am using same value, num1 floor division num2, it gives only integer part of the value, so that sometimes we will call this floor division as a integer division. Okay, now we have in the arithmetic operators last one, that is exponential operator. So exponential operator, we can perform exponential operation by using double asterisk num1 and double asterisk num2, that means num1 exponential num2, so 16, or we can use num2 exponential num1, 16, both are 16 only. Okay, 4 exponential 2, 2 exponential 4, 16 only will get. So this is the arithmetic operators. So now guys, we'll move to the next operator called assignment operators. So we are already familiar with assignment operator. We have worked with the variables and assign the values. So let us check with the assignment operator how we can work. For example, variable a, assignment operator is equal to, I'm assigning value 10. Okay, if you print here, it gives the value. We can use string assignment also. For example, str1 is equal to hi. So this is the assignment operators works, and in assignment operators we can use some advanced assignments, like for example a plus is equal to 5, and this expression adds 5 into a. That means it gives 10 plus 5, 15 it will provides. For example, now print here 15. So whenever you want to add with the existing variable, we use this type of assignment. Okay, not only addition, we can use multiplication also here. So 2, if you want to multiply by 2 by itself, then you can use this statement. Now 30, that means it was 15, now 15 into 2, 30. Same way you can divide also. 30 I am going to divide by 4. So now what will be the output? 7.5. So like this we can work with the assignment operators. Okay, I hope you people got understood. Now we'll go to the next operator, that is relational operators. Relational operators are used to compare the values in the program. For example, if you want to compare with one value with other value, we are going to use the relational operators. Less than, greater than, equals, not equals. These are all relational operators. Let us check now. So we'll take num1 value less than num2 value. So num1, so I will print the value of num1 now, 4, value of num2, 2. So num1 less than num2. Here num1 is 4, num2 is 2. So it checks the condition. If it is true, then it gives the value true. If it is false, it gives the value false. Now num1 is greater than num2. That's why num1 is not less than num2. So it gives the value false. For example, now change the variable, change the statement condition num1 greater than num2. So it gives the true as a output. For example, num1 not is equal to, for not we will use the explanatory symbol, num1 not is equal to num2. It should give true as a output. Same way, num1 is equal to, for check the equality we use double equals. So num1 is equal to num2. So false, because both the values are different. So this type we can use the comparison operators called relational operators. So now we'll move to the next operator called logical operators. Guys, logical operators also gives the output in the Boolean type only, that is true or false. In the logical operators we have 3 operators. One is AND, second one is OR, and third one is NOT. So we'll check with the operation now. For example, now num1 is equal to 3. We'll take and num2 is equal to 5. So now first example we'll check num1 less than 2 and num2 greater than 6. So this expression will get evaluated, and here in between I have used AND. So this is AND is the logical operator. So this logical operator will check, it gives the output if the two conditions are true. Now we'll check the what will be the output. False, because num1 is less than 2. So this is wrong. Num2 is greater than 6. This is also wrong. Okay. Now num1 is less than 4, and we'll check with another one. Num2 is greater than 4. So it should give true, because the two conditions are getting satisfying now here. Okay, num1 also it is less than 4 and num2 also greater than 4 here. So in this case it is both the conditions are true, it gives the value true. Okay, we'll check with the next operation called OR operation. in the OR operation, what will happen? Whether either the condition will get true, any one of the condition will get satisfied, it gives the output as a true. For example, num1 greater than 2. I should use OR now here. Num2 less than 3. So it should give output true now, because here it's satisfying. Num1 is greater than 2, it is satisfying, and num2 is less than 3, it is not satisfying. But also we are used OR operation here. In the OR operation, either the condition is true, the output is true only. Okay, now we'll check NOT operation. That is, whenever you want to revert the logical status of the any number or any variable, we'll use the NOT operation. For example, we'll take num1. So for num1, what is the value? 3 is there, it is an integer. Now you print bool of num1, what it will give. So we use bool function to print whether it is a true or false. Okay, it is true. Now let's change num1 as a NOT type. Okay, not num1, so it is giving false. Okay guys, like this we can use the NOT operator, logical operator, to change the state of the variable from true to false or false to true. Okay guys, we'll move to the next type of operator, that is identity operators. Guys, identity operators are used to determine whether the value of a variable is of a certain type or not. Or it is also used to determine whether two variables are referring to the same objects or not. So let us check with some examples now. For example, take num1 is equal to 5. So to check this type of the variable, we should use function called type function. We already discussed in the last class, type of num1. So we are going to use the now identity condition is int. So we are using here type of num1, whether it is a int or not, we are going to get it. So true. Same way for the false condition also we can check now. Type num1 is float, it is false because it is integer. Okay, so same way we can do with another one example. Num2 is equal to num1. That means I am assigning value of num1 into num2 now. So now what you are going to check, so just get the id of both the variable, id of num1. So you know that to check the id of num2 you should use the id function. So here both the num1 and num2 are referring to same id. You can observe there last 4 digits 3008. So now check with num1 is num2. So this is the identity statement now. So if both the objects are referring to a same address, it should give the value as a true, otherwise false. So it is giving true. Now just create another variable, give some other value. Okay, now check with num1 is num3, false, because id of num3 is different. Okay, getting my point? Check here, id of num3 is different, id of num1 is different. That's why we are getting false as a output. Okay, we can check the identity by using another operator, is not operator. Same way we can check here. For example, num1 is not num2, false, because num1 and num2 both are same, that's why it's giving false. Same way num1 is not num3, so it is true because num1 and num2 are not equal. That is true, that's why you are getting true. Okay, so these two are the identity operators. So now we'll move to the next operator called membership operators. These membership operators are used to check if a value is a member of the given sequence or list. In the given sequences, whether the given value is present or not, if you want to check that condition, we are going to use the membership operators. We have two membership operators. One is in operator, another one is not in operator. So in operator check the value is present in the list or sequence and gives the output. So not in operator, it checks value is not present in the list or sequence and returns the output as a true. Okay, let us check now. For example, take variable one list. Okay, list 1, 2, any value you can give, 5, 7. Okay, now I want to check. You can choose any value 2 in list 1. So if the 2 is present in the list 1, it should give the output as true. Okay, true. Same way, check for false condition now. 6 in list 1, false. Okay, this is the membership operator in work like this. So let's check with the not in operation now. So for the same list we can check the not in operation. Okay, 10 not in list 1. So 10, if the 10 is not in the list 1, it should return the output as a true. Okay, so 10 is not in list 1, that's why it is true. Now check another condition, 5 not in list 1, false, because 5 already is in the list 1, that's why it's giving the false now. Okay, so guys, we have discussed all the type of operators today, that is arithmetic operators and assignment operators, logical operators, relational operators, and special operators called identity operators and membership operators. These are all the basic expressions we have demonstrated today. In future classes, we need to use these expressions in the to solve the complex problems in the programs. Okay, so let us wind up today's class, and if you have any doubt and clarification, you can leave the comment, and for the study materials you can look in the description. I am giving the link of the study material. You can download it and refer it. If you like the video, like it and share to your friends, and enjoy the day. Bye bye.